Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Apple report for Monday, March 13th, 2023. Before we walk through all the charts, just want to encourage you to please click like and subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel and share the content, if you would, with friends and colleagues. And check out wickedstocks.com. We offer a lot of great analytical videos every day. The Daily Triple Q, Daily Spy Report, twice a week, 8 to 10 minute videos and individual stock picks. We do weekly S&P 500, weekly NASDAQ 100, and weekly TLT, the long bond U.S. Treasury ETF. So check that out. It's a pretty reasonable monthly price, I think, for what you get. And we offer a 5-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it after a few days, just shoot us an email, and we give you all of your money back. So there you have it. Anyway, I like to start with the big picture and work my way into the day itself. We came off of long-term support in early January, the low 120s. That was a targeted area, able to contain quarterly, possibly annual selling pressures. On the way up, we also closed above, within about a month, this descending channel top that is still significant support if tested over the next week, 2 or 3. I'll get to that in a moment. 140.62. In fact, when we closed above this in early February, gapped above it and closed above it, it set off a 3 to 5 month buy signal into the low 170s. You know, when we were testing the lower 120s in early January and coming off of it, I was mentioning that this 169.78 descending channel top could be considered a target that is in reach by some point in 2023, and the settlement about a month ago, actually a little bit more than that now, above 140.62, put that in more the 3 to 5 month category. So we're about a month and a half into that buy signal, and so we'll just kind of see where how it plays out. We can fall into the low 140s over the next a week, 2 or 3, and still maintain that 3 to 5 month time frame in terms of anticipating the low 170s. So that is the big picture. This is sort of the 2 to 3 week outlook. We have a rising 2/3 speed line that did capture selling pressures a couple of weeks ago, and we came close to testing it last Friday, 147.86. Now I just have it as a weekly support level. Because it can contain weekly selling pressures. But a lot of times the weekly levels wind up containing monthly selling pressures. And the same is true, I'm sure, if you've been watching the Daily Apple Report, that the session containment levels, those that can contain daily activity, wind up containing 2 to 3 and even weekly highs, 2 to 3 day and even weekly highs and lows. So, it is a subjective kind of a head scratcher where you're like, you weigh it all in terms of the big picture, the near term, and, the daily charts, the weekly charts, so forth and so on. But anyway, 147.86. Able to contain weekly selling pressures, possibly into April. In fact, I say that holding above 147.86 will keep the upper 150s in reach over the next few weeks. And that is this convergence still between a long-term descending 2/3 speed line and a 5/8 upside Fibonacci. Excuse me. 159.62 to 160.49. And so that area remains in play over the next 2 to 3 weeks, perhaps, holding above 147.86. So for those of you who are 2 to 3 week time horizon traders, swing traders over that time frame, you could, as we are now presently testing the upper 140s meaningful support, reach for 160 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least, I'd go a month out anyway. You could go several months out there, and you'd be then less susceptible to the time decay element on that out of the money call. Now, talking upside today from here, we do have this former channel top at 149.85. I have that weighted as a minor point only. 150.92 is our intraday pivot point. So it could contain intraday, quite possibly daily buying pressures. And 150.92, I don't have it shown anywhere, but it's nothing more. If you look at the last 5 days from that high last week to the low, that was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's right. This is all last week here. On the way back up, 3/8 is 150.92. And why I like that is it is just below Friday's high. So that in itself is a pivot point. Typically, if you've got a kind of a 5-day low here, 150.94 Friday's high is also an upward pivot point. So I like 150.92. That's a level that if you buy 147.86, you can take profits at 150.92. That is sort of the day trade dynamic. Pushing through 150.92, this 152.18 short-term descending channel top would be in reach, where a daily high can be made, and we could fall off Tuesday, Wednesday, falling back to 147.86 for a retest, if you will, of this long-term speed line. But 152.18 dropping pretty aggressively later in the week. It'll be almost converging with this speed line. We settle above it. I think we've got a good low for the week. In other words, after testing 147.86 speed line support, closing above 152.18 is sort of the breakaway to the upside. If we close above 152.18, I would expect 157.50 within just a couple of days, 2-3 days. And honestly, if we close above 152.18 today, for instance, I don't see that happening, but it might. Tomorrow anyway, closing above 152.18, probably by the end of next week, I would expect that upper 150s, low 160s, meaningful resistance where we can top out for a week, possibly into later April. I'll get to that if we start approaching it anytime soon. Hi, if you enjoy watching our daily Apple report, you'll love our daily Triple Q and SPY reports. They're presented in the same 5 to 10 minute video format. Our daily SPY and Triple Q analysis provides directional market signals that are correlated with highly specific price support and resistance levels. Whether your trading time horizon is short or longer term, we promise you a distinctive edge in your trading of the SPY and Triple Q. We offer a 5-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. So go to wickedstocks.com right now and start receiving your daily SPY and daily Triple Q reports today. So that kind of covers the upside. This covers the upside. Let's go to the downside now for the day itself. If we break or open below 147.86, 145.31 is likely. I can't remember exactly what that is. Bear with me. I know exactly what that is. It is the low settlement price following that February high. So that can contain intraday, possibly daily selling pressures. I would consider it an intraday objective below 147.86. So if we break, especially if we open today below 147.86, the day trade shifts south, shifts negative. 145.31 expected intraday. If it gets ugly, we could fall to this 143.52 channel bottom, where we can bottom out for the day, possibly a couple of days. So this is a kind of a 1 to 2 day swing trade. We could bottom out at 143.52. I have it as a session containment and bounce back to 147.86 within a day or two. But it would be a settlement below 147.86 that would keep selling pressures building. And I would then expect the 140.62 channel top within a full week of closing below 147.86. 3 to 5 days with this kind of volatility is certainly in the realm of possibility. It could, though, spill into next week because you need to respect the possibility that this market could bottom out for more than a day at 143.52. And obviously, if we close today below 143, 143.52, 140.62, likely tomorrow. So if we break or close below 147.86, you play the short side down to 140.62. That could be buying short-term 140 out of the money puts, short-term being expiring within a week. They're going to be cheap. And they can open up nicely on the way down to this objective. You could also go several weeks out or a month out. It's not going to take nearly that long, but at least you're preserving, if volatility doesn't expand, if we don't get the immediate sell-off, if it takes the better part of 2 weeks to get down to 140.62, you'll not regret having gone further out in time on that strike, that 140 strike. Day trade, buying 147.86. I'll mention it again. 150.92 in reach, above which 152.18 expected, where we can place a daily high and perhaps fall off into tomorrow. Closing above 152.18, good low for the week. We should then rally into the upper 150s by the end of next week or sooner. Downside, 147.86. If we break it on an intraday basis, expect at least 145.31, potentially 143.52 by the closing bell. And of course, closing below 147.86, that 140.62 long-term channel top expected, possibly by the end of the week, by the end of next week at the very latest, where 140.62 can contain selling not only through April, but even into the third quarter. We can turn up from here again and reach that 172.38 channel top within 3 to 5 months of testing 140.62. Last thing I'll say is if we do close below 140.62 in the coming week, 2 or 3, that sets up this market for sort of giving it all back over the following month or two into the low 120s. Low to mid 120s, I should say, where once again a quarterly low, possibly annual low can be placed. And I think I'll just leave you with this image for the day. That's all I've got. Pushing 10 minutes. I hate going 10 minutes on these things. Please click like, subscribe, check out wickedstocks.com, and I'll be back tomorrow with another Daily Apple Report.